state championship week for high school sports, and our crews will be ready to capture all the action.
Yes, and sports reporter Marc Robbins is showing us what teams are still on the hunt for a title.
Yes, lots of sports. You're talking boys and girls lacrosse, softball, baseball, track just finished up earlier this week.
We're going to start with Mr. Hurley.
But we might want to, very much like your forecast, today we had the storm early.
You're absolutely right.
The announcement.
Now we're getting a little bit of a lull.
Yes.
And then there could be storms. How quickly will a decision be made, Mark, do you think?
Well, we'll see. Of course, we're talking about the Lakers making an offer to Dan Hurley to become their new head coach. This was broken by Adrian Wojnarowski at ESPN earlier this morning, about 2.5 hours ago. And it could happen very quickly. Now, the Lakers' job has been open for about a month.
Okay.
Of course, Hurley is just finished up his second consecutive national championship with the Huskies. He's been at UConn for 6 years. So I think Woj says the offer, massive, long-term, is coming in the next couple of days, within the next couple of days. So it could be at any time. I believe that as Woj has also said, they've had some preliminary discussions. And last night, excuse me, Dan Hurley was part of the coaches' caravan in Stamford, representing UConn. And so we had a big media avail last night. Today, this morning, this news comes out, and I think that's calculated. It wasn't going to come out yesterday when Coach Hurley would have to face the media and the speculation and these reports. Now, I'm sure, we put calls in, but I'm sure he won't be available today. Probably not until this comes to a head, whichever way it goes.
And what is the reaction from UConn country? Like, what are people saying this morning, and, what are they fearing, I guess?
Well, the biggest fear is that Dan Hurley will leave, and he has built, a dynasty, a juggernaut. With you'll pick your description with this program, and he's got another chance to go and win a third straight title. Alex Caravan just comes back last week and makes that announcement. So he's got a top 5 team that will return. But if he leaves, it will be for a new challenge.
Right. Hypothetically speaking, if he does leave, in these situations, does sometimes the assistant coach slide on into as a head coach?
Could be. Luke Murray, Tom Moore's a former head coach in college, and Tom Moore's been part of, I believe, 5 of the 6 national championships that UConn has won as an assistant. So Tom Moore could be a candidate. Luke Murray, an assistant. Who has been at several high-profile places as well as UConn. He could be in line as well. Or other names, and these could be big names that are currently coaching somewhere that you can't just assume because they already have a job, like Hurley has.
Yeah, exactly.
Forgive me if you don't know the answer. Why was the position at the Lakers vacated a month ago?
They fired Darvin Ham.
So they're not doing well.
Years. No, they struggled again this year. They do have LeBron James and Anthony Davis and a pretty good core of some young players, and that's part of the draw the Lakers have. They want Hurley, who is known for his innovative, I say, old-school pro style of offense. We can get into that in another time, but also in the way he develops players. And they want, at the collegiate level, the Lakers believe he can develop players at the professional level. And interestingly, LeBron James' son, is now draft eligible, and there's a lot of talk that he said he wants to play with his son. If the Lakers take him, maybe they're thinking Dan Hurley can develop Bronny James. Bronny James is not ready to play in the NBA right now, according to almost all experts, but he's LeBron's son. He's got ability, but he's not ready to play. But maybe Hurley can bring that along a little quicker.
He has a good in and some good genes, too. Right?
Yeah. All right, UConn women's basketball coach Gino just signed that contract.
Well, at least we know that the women's program is settled. We know that. He just signs a 5-year deal extension. So he had one left, made the announcement on Tuesday in Southington at the Coaches Caravan, the road show. The Joe Zone was the only camera there, by the way, to get that.
Wow.
So kudos to Joe, and congratulations to Gino as he signed a new contract to keep him there until 2020 through 2029. That's 6 more seasons and I believe Gino would be 75 at this point, and certainly by probably 150 games, the winningest college basketball coach of all time.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
He's
it's a
gonna-
dynasty.
He's going to, obliterate that record.
Now let's talk UConn baseball because they just pulled off an upset to get to the Super Regionals.
Yes, in the NCAA tournament, they won 2 out of 3 at Oklahoma against the Sooners to win that regional and advance. Now they'll take on the 8th seed Florida State Seminoles. First game, it's a best of 3. They'll play the first game tomorrow at noon, then Saturday, and then if necessary on Sunday. They're trying to get to Omaha in the College World Series.
All right, thanks, Mark. We
Wow.
appreciate it.
A lot of stuff going
A
on
lot
in
of
the
stuff
sports
going
world.
on. Absolutely. All right.